It is Tuesday and today we are meal prepping. This week is a big one, so I need roughly 10 meals at work. I carry on and on about meal prep on here and in real life, so I figured it's about time we have a chat about it. For transparency and just in case, I want to add a trigger warning here for talk about food, disordered eating, and mental health. If it's your first time here, my name is Monique. I am a radio mic technician currently in professional theatre. The schedule we follow in industries like theatre make normal meal times impossible. 80% of all crew I've ever worked with buy every single one of their meals, which is not only a massive expense, but only an accessible option if your relationship with food is a casual one. I've always had an issue with textures and a discomfort for not being in control of what went into my body and how it is prepared. Entering my 20s, study in the workforce, I found myself deeply anxious very often. This is something that I still feel now, but it has evolved through years of therapy to being something that I experience physically, with usually a clear head, which is still wildly annoying, honestly. The moment that anxiety spreads through my body, food is the last thing on my mind. It's not that I deliberately avoid food, rather that the physical sensation of anxiety completely overrides any appetite that I may have. To make matters worse, I have a lot of gut issues, I have an intolerance to lactose, and I've found that a more bland diet helps me manage the symptoms of that. Cooking's never been a particular joy for me, probably due to the fact that eating has always been a necessity, a painful one, rather than something to enjoy. I've always felt so much shame around these struggles. When I looked online or I asked people in my life for help and tips around meal prepping or cooking, the suggestions that I get are wildly out of my reach, unrealistic for my issues, and made me feel even more shame. Until I started prioritizing my own health and my relationship with my own body above caring about what other people, especially ones that don't understand these struggles, think. I realized that while I'm a trash cook, the beauty of making your own meal prep is that you can get whatever you need for yourself in the way that makes you the most comfortable. For some people, that's avoiding certain things, making sure to get enough iron, eating a vegetarian or vegan diet, having to follow FODMAP, and as someone who spent most of my early adult years living off of one meal a day because I was so anxious and working so hard that I didn't remember food existed, for me, my goal is always to feed my body as often as it wants and needs without triggering any of my gut issues. For my body, this means controlling the ingredients. For my mind, it means having multiple options of unthreatening foods that I enjoy ready to go. I quickly realized when I started working theatre hours that in the 15 to 30 minutes I had free during my shift for a meal, the mental energy to think of what I wanted, where I could get it, how to get it, and how much effort it would take would often cause me so much stress and decision fatigue that I would instead snack or skip meals entirely because the anxiety that brought on completely squashed my appetite. If I did manage to make that choice, it very quickly adds up to being a massive expense. Some of you find eating easy. You find it a joy to cook, you aren't in any way a fussy eater, you have no dietary requirements, and I truly love that for you. But for the rest of us, I wanted to share some of my tips around meal prepping that have actually worked. The first one is to make things as easy as possible for yourself. Get ingredients in cans, meats already cut up, tools that help you chop things easier if preparation is the thing that burns you out. A major one for me has been getting my groceries delivered. For as little as $4, major grocery stores in Australia will deliver your groceries to you. For myself, avoiding the journey to the supermarket, the time spent shopping, and the physical mission of trying to get my groceries home without a car in the city is well worth $4. One of the other things that I love about ordering my groceries is that I can actually order exactly everything I need. I don't get tempted to buy random things or forget things because I'm overwhelmed in the store. I write a list of meals that I want to make, their ingredients, snacks, drinks, and anything else I may need, search for and order it as soon as I get paid, and the day I'm going to do meal prep, I select a delivery time that works with my schedule, and I immediately cook. The second is to make meal prep an event. I will save podcasts or YouTube videos I want to watch for my meal prep time so that I have something on in the background catching my attention. I almost treat it like my self-care alone time. Grab a snack, grab a drink, get in comfy clothes, and zone out. For me, it's usually Into Dark History episodes by Bailey Sarian. Because for me, having something on in the background to hold my attention is almost as good as having someone in the room to body double. Third, variety is the spice of life. I try to make at least 2 different meals always for meal prep so that if I don't feel like something, I have another option. If I'm hyperfixated on a food, I will make it for weeks on end until my body and brain have decided that it's done with it. For example, I've been making, it would be generous to call it tacos, so we'll say taco-inspired meal prep for weeks now. I can put all my favorite veggies and meat into one delicious, flavorsome mush that I heat up, stick into a wrap, and cover with cheese. It's really quick to make, which is good because it's a low-energy meal prep to create, and also to put it together at work is also super low energy. 4, don't stop at meals, have snacks and drinks at work too. Most who work with me can tell you that my workspace always involves a pantry. I will always have savory and sweet snacks, different drinks, and water in my office, always. I want to feed my body and feed my joy, and if that means eating a single sour squirm or a barbecue cracker to feel good in gaps between meals, I'm going to do it. 5. Treat yourself sometimes. If I have a meal prepped, but I am craving the spicy garlic edamame from the Japanese place near the theatre, I will get it. Trying to find joy in food for me sometimes looks like ignoring one of my meal preps to get something that excites me as someone who's typically not excited by food. And 6. Do whatever you need to do to get what you need. Sometimes I try and look at my body almost in third person, as something that I live in and love and want to take care of. After a while prioritizing these feelings, the embarrassment that I felt when other people criticized what I was eating or not eating was difficult to hear over my own excitement that at the end of the week I'd given my body everything it needed to get through an insane week with crazy hours, living the life that I love and working my dream job.